I just walked past the bathroom and...
Something died in the shop tonight. It must have been something you ate.
Buckle up for safety as I give you a day in the life of facilities maintenance.
Well, with no time like the present, there's no reason why I can't make something for that right now. So I've decided that I need to put a filter there, which will go a long ways towards decreasing the frequency of needing to change the filter in the unit outside. I need to make some kind of holder to accept the filter up there. The outside from edge to edge on that frame is 18 by 18, and well, I happen to be in the wood shop. And so why wouldn't I make it out of wood, for one thing? And the other thing that is nice is that because what I am building is for the wood shop to go way over there, I can use materials from the wood shop. So basically, as long as they don't have a student's name on something to indicate that they're like part of a project in the making, I can use any of these small scraps at my discretion. So my grill measurements are 18 by 18. I'm tight against the duct there. So if I make the base of what I'm going to create there 20 by 18, that'll give me attachment points along the bottom and along the top to attach it. So that should be good. Now I also want to build this out of something that is going to be rigid enough to be able to accept screws and attach firmly. So I found this piece of, I don't know if this is Luan. This is just heavy enough to do what I need to do, and I'm looking at about 21 inches here, so it's big enough as well. So this will be what I start with. So there's a lip here. I found an old piece of 1/4 inch ply here, which should do nicely for my my box pieces. Now I'd like to glue and brad nail this together, and it's always a bit of a challenge to figure out how to best hold it while you do that. And so this is what I'm doing, and hopefully I'm not twisted. I don't think I missed, so that's a good thing. Twisted either. That sits nice and level. I can't repeat the process. I have to do it a little differently, so probably the easiest way to do this is to just set it like that and use this base frame as my guide. And you're good. I've glued those down, and I will eventually flip that over and fasten it from the other side once the glue has had a chance to set up a bit. But for now, I'll just weight that down for a few minutes and make my front frame piece while that is setting up. Once that's set up, then I can flip it and add a couple brad nails from the backside. Okay, let's remove our weights and put our other frame piece in position. These should actually be fairly set up. I'm not going to test them because, you know, we don't need to. I don't want to break it, but it's been about half an hour, so this should be pretty good. I'm going to glue and brad that outer frame onto there, and this will be fairly fragile until I attach it to the rest of what I'm building here, so I need to be a little bit careful. I want to dress the edges a little bit, just to clean it up. Now that this is movable, why don't I turn it over and drop some brads in the back side here, just to give it a little bit more strength. And because this is such a narrow board and I don't want to miss, I drew myself a line just to make life a little more predictable. Now I can use the frame that I made for the front as a template for my cutout for the back. So this has been glued and brad nailed all the way around on 3 sides. So this box is actually quite strong now. So now what I need to do is cut out the opening on the back side so that when the filter is in there, that air can actually pass through it. It won't go through solid wood. So I will cut that out now. Just set my blade to a shallower depth and cut away. Right, so this is pretty much what I imagine in my head. These are my flanges where I will drill through to mount it up there. My 2-inch filter will fit in here. And I think I might add a piece to the outside here just for some extra strength, because I don't want it to get broken at any point in time. So if I can strengthen that up a little bit, that would probably benefit it. So yeah, I think I'll do that. Look at that. There's a piece of scrap wood that was in the bin. It's pretty much exactly the right length. I just have to trim maybe a 1/4 inch off it and maybe narrow it by about 1/2 inch. Then I'll glue that to here and we'll be fantastic. All right, well, that's currently setting up, and when that is dry, I will be able to install that up there, and then that will be ready to accept an 18 by 18 by 2 filter.
Pimp My Heater! One day later.
Okay, I am about ready to switch out that grill for this filter cage right here. And I just noticed something, that this cracked right here. I'm going to glue and clamp that for a few minutes before I put this up, because I don't want this to catch on the filter when it goes in and out of here. So I just slammed a bunch of glue there. I'm working it in so it goes right down where it needs to. And I'll throw a clamp on there and give that 20 minutes and should be good to go. Okay, when that dries, that'll be super strong. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm gonna take that grill out. This Gorilla construction adhesive works so well that I could probably just walk away right now and it would be fine. But might as well put the screws back in that were there in the first place. Okay, I'm happy with that. I think that will work well. I was a little concerned at first about whether or not I'd be able to clear the gas line right there, which is why I ultimately went with a 2-inch filter rack as opposed to a 4-inch. That should work just fine. And yeah, that's glued and screwed to the wall up there, so it's not coming down. And a filter will slip in there easily, so that should work well. So here's the hope. The hope is that this works well enough that it almost makes a filter in the unit redundant, although that won't be the case. I'll still need to have a filter in there, especially for the first while, because there's lots of dust and whatnot in the actual ducting itself that'll eventually work its way through. But I think that this will reduce our need to change the filter outside down to maybe twice a year, and then this once a month at least, because it gets very dusty in here. So a once a month service on this one, and once or twice a year on the one outside, and our heater should run forever and ever.
Pimp My Heater.
All right, thanks for watching. See you later.